Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Alrighty. Today we made $1,000. I should have made more. Um, some stuff we need to go over. Some stuff we need to really lock in on. But still overall, good day. Kind of needed a day like this. Sort of was like bouncing around in profit. She like 500, 1,000. I won, lost, won. I won again, but this time it was $1,000. It could have been like 1,500, but we'll go over that in this trade. Um, Overall bias, Asian has been making, at least recently, like, it's usually just choppy, but it's been making some moves. It's been making some big banger moves. Um, which actually, like, my friend caught yesterday, which was insane, off the 5 minute um, retrace. Definitely probably get. I think he might trade today. Probably not though, because I'm definitely more confident in trading New York session. I've actually been profitable trading New York session by a decent amount, but I've given a decent amount back to the markets on trading Asian session. So I'm only gonna trade if there's like SMT, retrace, rally, equal. Like there's a bunch of confidence. I'm gonna make some money. I'm not gonna say no to money. Um, but definitely wouldn't risk that much. Well, like an ES, but with it being so, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna risk a crazy amount. Um, we're going to market open, not market open. Overall bias. We have Asian just dump and go right back up. We have this higher time frame, 1 hour BPR. London then is kind of chopping around, fills it, and then reverses. And usually when London reverses, I want to see some sort of continuation. But London is already above all of this low resistance liquidity, and it could easily take out this more and tap into this gap up here, or take out these highs, which would be bussin'. Um, but with us being already in a downtrend, it's probably just enough to take this out and fill in the gap and then go lower. So that was kind of over. I was definitely thinking we could just go lower, but overall bias was definitely continuation. And then going into lay market open, we also had news. ISM services PMI, but that usually does nothing, so I wasn't too worried about that. I probably would have waited if it was like 5 times before me entering, but actually probably not. It's literally never done anything. Even though it's red. We're gonna market open. Immediately kind of tank. How many of these 5 minute lows? We're also tapping into this gap. We're also on the 15 minute. Oh, not that one. 15 minute. Tapping into that gap. We're also tapping into equilibrium, which gets just sniped. So on NQ equilibrium, ES just taps into it. What a beauty of a tap in. And then NQ is also tapping to a gap. We're also tapping to these gaps as well, but it just looks a lot clearer on NQ. We then take out this liquidity. Well, ES is already sort of lacking, so I'm like, all right, well, percent in SMT. Go ahead. So realistically, bro, everything today was lined up to take a long John Silver, and I was not going to. Why does it keep making that stupid sound? I feel like my mic's broken. That's fine. Why do I always do that? I actually did get a little scared though, because going to the 1 minute after that close, I saw I saw this doji close. So after the 5 minute, I'm just like, all right, let's get in. And then my stop could have been here. I was like, bro, I'm pretty confident in the trade. So I was like, all right, this is 32 ticks. It's a little more risk, but it's like this is probably the most confident trade I am. Price will find a way to humble you. I see this, I'm like, oh, brother. Oh. I'm like, really? After all that, we then come. This this is what I'm seeing. I'm thinking I'm cooked. I think this is not gonna be $1,000 day. Wait, hold on. I think he made that was one tick. Oh, yeah. We see one tick between me and SL. And then we go up. I'm like, alright, we're in the green. No! We then come back again. This time it was more like 10 ticks away. And then finally we're up. But at this point, bro, like I might lose. Keep my stop loss there and then oh, holy boom. I was only in one contract, so which means that would be yeah, I could have made so much more. That itself right there is 1,000 off my one contract. Um, I didn't exit that until underneath here, and along this road, I entered another one, so I was up like 1,700 at one point, and then I closed, and I entered like probably up here somewhere. It wasn't like any sort of retrace, which I need to lock in on, and that what I wrote down was and also with this, like seeing this after all those confluences, but price still was given entry. Oh, another thing I forgot to point out was, yeah, this made a 1 minute SMT as well off these lows. Like price is gonna give an entry, and if it's not giving you entry, it's not giving enough entry. Oh, that's why we're down. Not good enough entry is just as bad as taking a bad trade, or just as bad as taking a trade with no confluences. Is a better way to say it. Like if I would have entered up here and had my stop here, like it could have easily been stopped at. Like it's, yeah, having good entry is very important. And I'm trying to realize that now, and just foaming in off the 1 minute is not good. Even if we have all these confluences, I still want to at least see something get hit, some sort of confluence, which should already be like it should be just be a given. But I haven't been doing that as well. Haven't been doing that as much as I've wanted to. I've kind of just been entering when I just enter and then it cooks me because my entry is horrible, and then I lose maybe 5, 10 ticks more than I should have, which is like $100 or 50 to $100 more than what I should be losing on a normal day, which over time adds up and it's very unprofitable. So that stuff is something I'm going to change. And then if I were to average in to make my winners bigger, like I'm gonna have to see just a 1 minute retrace, and hopefully it's before we hit some type of prominent high. Because I do think averaging can definitely help. Like if we get an up candle here, yeah, well we went down below, but we still tap into this gap. Like they're fine time to enter again. What if I bought again? Boom. Now we have stop break even there, but we have double the risk. We get that. Oh, we can't make this. Obviously, like at that point, I probably would have moved this up here, but like that would have been 20 ticks. I have made more. Like I gotta be able to calculate that. Um, if I enter 71, well, it's not obviously right. It's almost better to not. Yeah, like you just have to wait for a retrace because then if you average in, you're basically risking more without Or you can easily lose everything that you made. But like if we were making S&T again, or really is respecting a gap, like I'm fine with entering. But just like entering off like a 1 minute like down, which isn't necessarily horrible, but like it's just not. I'm not gonna do it because it could easily reverse at any point once it's this prominent highs or just normal highs. I mean prominent as in like a reaction. Like if it's just like a 1 minute high or 5 minute high, 5 minute high I can still react. But if it's like at an hourly high, I count that as like a prominent high, which can easily be reversed off of. That's what I mean by prominent. Um, but yeah, overall still made 1,000. I could have made more, especially if I didn't. I averaged in, which made me a lot more, but then I sold both of them after they stopped off of this wick and it went past that for value gap. Uh, but I entered because I entered another one. Like I saw it like move up. I'm like, oh man, I need to get in again. And then this huge candle came down, and then I was like, all right, well, I just filmed it in. Like I don't want to be in this, so I lost like an extra 300, but like or 200. It was like 200, but I was like, there's no reason to be in it. I had made my money for the day. I was really tempted to trade again after coming down that 5 minute gap, but I did not. Um, didn't want to lose any more money for the market, so price did end up kind of booming, but like you're really gonna hold through all that, like this 30 minutes of it just being able to reverse. Probably not. I would end up paying every trade though. We end up taking out those highs. Yeah, we did about a lot too. So overall, not bad day, psychology wise and technical wise. No more foaming on the 1 minute. An entry is a good entry or a bad entry is just as bad as taking a trade without confidence is. And then averaging in, I want to be taking it off a bullish confluence at least 1 minute fair value gap or something. Then better, even better if it's like a 5 minute. And uh, why? Hopefully that didn't lag out on. I'm not gonna show you, but I'd probably move my stop underneath the fair value gap and equilibrium and give some room. It's probably where if I have like two contracts or something, that's probably what I'll do. Just split and then move one underneath there, just so if it's dead like this, it has more room to run. That's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.